Okay, I think we're live. Let me check it out here. Are we live? Yes. All right, here we are live. Monica Corrado, the Gap Chef. Here I am again for a Facebook Live with you. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of August, and today we're going to talk about the intro diet and anything else you'd like to talk about. So I am happy to be here, and I'm going to fix my camera right here for one moment. There we go. Okay. Anyway. Okay, folks, so Monica Corrado, the Gap Chef. My website is simplybeingwell.com. I hope that you will visit me there. I have lots of things like books and classes and my newly available Meat Stock Masterclass. Meat Stock Masterclass, which has, I don't know, 8 classes, 81 lessons, 9 hours of video. And if you ever wanted to know how to make meat stock in all the ways that you can do it on the GAPS diet, that's where to look. So yes, I do hope you visit me on my website. I am a certified GAPS practitioner. I am on Dr. Natasha's teaching team. I help to teach. I guess I'm faculty. I teach cooking for certified GAPS practitioners and certified GAPS coaches. We use my book as the text in that class, and I do hope that you have picked up a copy of that, The Complete Cooking Techniques for the GAPS Diet. Show you that here. There's a coupon on our page for $10 off. It's New GAPS, all caps, 2023, and this is the book. Ooh, look at my light. Anyway, also for those of you who speak French or Italian, it is now available in French and Italian. If you go to my website, you can find out about that. All right. Hello, Abida. Good to have you. Hello, everyone else. Good to have you. My intention for this time together is to accurately represent Dr. Natasha's books, her work, the GAPS diet, gut and psychology, gut and physiology, diets, and to answer any questions that you might have. As I said, I am a certified GAPS practitioner, so hopefully I can help. All right. Hey, Dawn. Happy to have you here. Say hello to Maryland for me, etc. All right. So one more time with feeling. I am not a medical doctor, and nothing I say has been authorized by the FDA, etc., etc. All right, so I hope you're all well today. Again, I'm happy to be here with you, and I am going to talk about the intro diet one more time with feeling and anything else that you need to talk about. Hey, Kathleen, good to have you. All right, so here is the chart. The chart that is available to you for free. Download under featured posts. Go find it, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. So we have stage 1 and 2, and then on the back we'll have stage 3, 4, 5, 6. Today we're going to talk about stage 5, and it'll be fun. Hey, Tara, good to have you with us. Okay, so stage 5. Whoa. So, again, in every one of these Facebook Lives for the past couple of weeks, I've been going through the intro diet. I'm doing that because I think it will be helpful. I hope it will be helpful to people that are starting on intro, to people who are thinking about going to intro, to people who have been on intro forever and they're not moving or they don't know how to move, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully this will be helpful to you and to everyone. So in the previous weeks, I have talked about how to move from stage to stage, and also that we do not try to introduce any food that we have an anaphylactic allergy to, right, during this time at all. Don't try it. Don't try that until after you've been on GAPS for 2 years or more. You've done a lot of healing. You're working with an allergist. you're in a hospital with everything that you need in case you have a response. If you wanted to trial, pardon me, an anaphylactic, something that you or your child has an anaphylactic response to. Okay, so stage 5. What's the big darn deal about stage 5? Raw, 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 raw vegetables. Cooked fruit and raw vegetables. Those are the two big deals about stage 5. So let's talk about those. So we introduce fruit in stage 5 as cooked fruit. It is peeled and seeded and cooked apple. We cook that apple with ghee or another healthy fat. Hey, Vicky, good to have you. Glad you made it. So, again, what's the hallmark of stage 5? The introduction of cooked fruit. Now, again, it's going to be cooked apple, peeled apple that's cooked in ghee or some other healthy animal fat, duck fat, lard. I probably wouldn't do tallow. It might be not so yummy. Right? And we start with just a little bit. Now, why cooked? Because cooking, as we all know by now, I hope, cooking will help to break down the fruit, right? Meaning we peel it because we don't want the fiber. We seed it because it's a bad idea to eat fruit seeds. But we cook it with fat because when we cook something, we start breaking down the cellulose, right? Cooking makes food more digestible, right? And why do we cook it with fat? Because fat of any kind, and we know that on GAPS the majority of the fat that we eat is animal fat, right? Whether it's ghee, butter, tallow, lard, duck fat, goose fat, you name it, right? We cook it with animal fat because fat modulates sugar impact on the blood sugar. So what does modulate mean? Modulate is a word that, so modulate, here's your visual. Modulate, instead of spiking sugar and then crashing, when we add fat to fruit, when we add fat, when we eat any kind of carbohydrate, remembering that if a food is not a protein or a fat, it is a carbohydrate. So when we add fat to carbohydrates, meaning when we add fat to sugar, it modulates, it evens out the impact of that sugar on the blood. That's what we want to do. What we don't want to have happen is eat the sugar, meaning cooked apple, and then spike the blood sugar and then crash, right? That's what we don't want to do. So the adding of fat, you can take this into your whole life. Go tell your neighbors. Go tell them. Go tell everyone. Because there's so many people that are eating carbohydrates out there with no fat, because fat makes you fat, which we know is absolutely incorrect, right? That they're really not doing their blood sugar any favors by eating those carbohydrates with no fat. So, one more time with feeling, the first thing we do in stage 5, when we've graduated from stage 4 and we're ready to move to stage 5, is we add cooked apple. It is peeled, it is seeded, it is chopped, it is or sliced, and it is cooked with ghee or another healthy fat. Great to puree those apples. So now you've got applesauce with fat. So you start with a few teaspoons, just like we always start with just a little bit, and we watch the body. What happens? Do I get diarrhea? Ooh, could. Do you get a flare? Symptoms flare means you're not ready. Symptoms flare, right? Do you cramp? Do you get gas? What happens? What happens when you put in that teaspoon or two of cooked apple with fat? Think about it. Make a note of it before you move on, right? So once we bring in this fabulous cooked apple, which people are so excited about by the time they hit stage 5, they're like, fruit, hooray, right? They may have been adding some fruit into, no, we're going to add fruit into our juice in this stage 2. So blip, erase that. All right, so number 1, add your cooked peeled apple that you cook it with ghee or lard or duck fat or goose fat, something, coconut oil. Right? But don't rely on coconut oil because we want to have a lot of animal fats in our diet. And then this next stage, if we tolerate, next step in this stage, if we tolerate the addition of fruit, meaning we do not have diarrhea, we do not have cramping, we do not have gas, we do not have an eczema flare, we do not have a mood swing, we do not have our child running laps around the kitchen because he just had sugar or she, right? None of those things happen. No problem. We've gone 2 or 3 or 4 days with adding in cooked peeled apple. No problem. Then we can try and we add in raw vegetables. Oh, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. People are excited about salad. Here, salad, stage 5. So, what do we start with on stage 5? We start with little piece of lettuce. Little piece of lettuce. And we watch. Does that lettuce show up in the stool? If it does, not ready. Watch the stool. Does it come out in the stool? In the toilet? Do you see that lettuce, right? How do we keep from seeing lettuce in the stool? Well, we chew it, right? Chew, chew, chew your food. Today happens to be a very melodic day. I don't know if you're enjoying this, but certainly I am making a lot of tunes here today. Who knows what's going on? Okay, so chew your lettuce. Chew the raw vegetables that you bring in. Chew. This is the first place that digestion happens. Chewing is physical digestion, physical or mechanical, you can call it either way, right? We're chewing our food. When we chew, we get chemical digestion happening. Enzymes are produced in the mouth, right? Saliva. You mix it all around. Chew, chew, chew your food. That will really help, whether it's raw vegetables or any other food. Even your juice, Dr. Natasha says clearly, chew the juice. We don't just bolt things, folks. We allow this fabulous digestion to happen in the mouth. We access it. We utilize it. We harness it. We use the mouth. We use the teeth. We use the saliva. We use the tongue. We use the time, T-I-M-E, to really start digesting our food in the mouth. And when we do that, pardon me, the brain will give the signal, hey, there's food coming down the pike. Start getting that stomach acid ready to go, right? All right, so adding raw vegetables. We start with lettuce, then we add peeled and seeded cucumbers. Peeled and seeded, of course, right? We can add carrot, raw carrot. We can add tomato, unless you have a nightshade issue. By now, I hope you don't. By stage 5, right? Tomato would be peeled and seeded. Peeled seed, chop. Stick it on your salad. Yum. All right. Okay, so we're watching, remembering that diarrhea, remembering that raw plants and plant matter, usually the signal, the symptom, the sign that you cannot tolerate it is diarrhea. Whether that's stage 1 in meat stock or it's stage 5 raw lettuce, that's usually the sign that your body can't tolerate veggies. Remembering that vegetables Plants are cleansers. So, if you experience diarrhea by adding in lettuce, stop. Do not add any other raw vegetable in. Wait 2 weeks. Try again. Still having diarrhea? Stop. Do not add any other raw vegetables in. Wait 2 weeks. Try again. This is your pattern. This is your pattern. Okay? If you keep doing this and you keep getting diarrhea by adding raw vegetables in, my suggestion is go back to stage 1. More healing? Go back to stage 1. If really you continue having diarrhea with any vegetable, cooked or raw, perhaps you want to think about no plant. And read the book on no plant because it's very specific. No plant is very specific, and maybe we should talk about that at some point. Okay, let's see what people are saying before I go on to what do we do to the juice. Hello, Leonie. Hooray! So good to see you. Oh, I am sorry your teeth woes continue. It's really knocked me for 6. I may need to talk about teeth in a minute. Sorry to hear that. Hello, Joanna. Good to have you. Hello, Hope. If you cook the apple without fat but eat it with sour cream, would this have the same effect? Yes. Yes, it would have the same effect in terms of modulating blood sugar impact. However, and so that's a good thing to do. However, we remember that cultured cream or sour cream also is a lot different in terms of fat. Yes, it is fat. Yes, it is fatty. I mean, it is fat. You're making it from cream, so that's fat. But it also has to be broken down and digested. So it's a different ball game than just having a tablespoon of lard, a tablespoon of ghee, which is pure fat, right? A tablespoon of coconut oil. So that's it's going to demand the body digest differently, if you will. Will it do the part about modulating the sugar impact? Yes. But if it were me, I love this food too, folks. If it were me, I would cook it in fat and then I would add sour cream before I ate it. Ta-da! That would be the bomb daddy. That would be like yummo. That would be so delish. It also does something to the fat, to the texture of the apples, folks. When you cook apples in ghee, oh my God, it is so delish. When you cook apples in butter, right? So, yes, it will modulate the fat impact. Yes, it will modulate the sugar impact. And I suggest that you introduce the apples the way that they're meant to be introduced, which is cooked in fat. Add sour cream later. So if in fact you do really well with apples cooked in sour cream, oh my God, where am I today? I need more fat. Apples cooked in fat and then add sour cream. I would try it later on. I hope that's helpful. You're so funny. Yes, Italian hand gestures crack me up. I'm happy that makes sense, Hope. Good. Okay. All right. Again, cultured cream is awesome. Should everybody be eating it? Yes. I think I shared with this group that one of the last times I taught with Dr. Natasha, not only did she say to almost every question that the folks training to be certified GAPS practitioners asked her, she would say, more fat, more fat, more fat. You have a hormone problem? More fat. You have any problem? More fat. Brain function? More fat. Skin issues? More fat. Have more fat. So she also said everyone should be drinking 8 ounces or eating 8 ounces of cultured cream every night before bed. What? Think of the logistics of that. If you have a family of 5, family of 4 even, you need a quart of cultured cream every night. It's probably not going to happen, folks, but it's a good thing to work up to, having a bunch of cultured cream before bedtime. Really good for all sorts of reasons. Okay, so one more time with feeling. You got that thing, right? First we start with adding cooked peeled apple, right? You're peeling it, you're cooking it with ghee. You can also puree it so that it's really, really broken down in terms of mechanical digestion. Like if you're eating applesauce, really, right? Like it's pureed, folks. You've now broken down all that cellulose, if you will, which is great. And then, of course, you could move. Nope, stage 5 is just apples. Sorry. Okay, next, raw vegetables. We talked about what order? Order number 1, lettuce, lettuce. Peeled cucumber, peeled carrot, peeled and seeded tomato, right? And then we gradually increase the amount. That's all stage 5. Next in stage 5, what are we doing with our juice? Remember, stage 4, we started juicing with a cold press, slow masticating juicer, right? Something that does not destroy the enzymes when it is used. All right, so what do we do now? We add apple, perhaps, to our juice in stage 5. You can add pineapple to our juice in stage 5, remembering that pineapple is fabulously full of enzymes. Bromelain, for one. Digestive enzymes helps you to digest your food. Mango, right? No citrus yet in stage 5. All right, that's stage 5. Yahoo! We could also talk about stage 6. Why don't we go into stage 6? Hey, Anna Clara, good to have you. Hey, Dawn, what do you got? Oh my goodness, how can I eat all of that cultured cream? I love it, but I get fat, and I can't stay fat waiting for the gut to heal. Dawn. I hear you. Remembering, I'm just going to bring that up. Let me bring that up in a minute, because I'll answer you, and Anna Clara has a question about cultured cream. Let's get through stage 6 because we can. And then next week we can do something totally different. Or not, whatever you want. Okay, stage 6. So now, stage 5. I've added in my fabulous cooked apple. I've added it in. It's yummy. It's good. I'm having it for dessert. I'm throwing on some extra cultured cream. I am really satisfied. Life is wonderful. This is delicious. I'm having salads. What am I doing? What could I do? When you add your raw vegetables, remember that in stage 4, we added in olive oil. Right? So we added in olive oil in stage 4. We can use it on our salads in stage 5. So I'm having my cooked apples. I'm having my salads. Woohoo! I'm having some really good juices, which of course we know we're having on an empty stomach usually. Right? That's 20 to 25 minutes before a meal or 2 to 2.5 hours after a meal, empty stomach. Stage 6. What do we do? So if stage 5 was cooked fruit, stage 6 is raw fruit. We're adding in raw apple, we're peeling it, we're seeding it, and we're eating it, right? Okay. Once we can tolerate raw apple, then you can start bringing in other fruits. I tend to suggest to my clients that they add in low sugar fruits. What would that be? Pears, berries like blueberries, blackberries, any of the dark berries. Not so much strawberries, very high in sugar. Not so much raspberries, very high in sugar. But your low sugar fruits you could add in raw after a while. And then you could also add in more variety in your baking, such as making banana bread out of that beautiful fermented nut or seed flour, making banana bread, carrot cake, making all sorts of things using dried fruit as your sweetener. For people who are interested, I have a fabulous, yes it is, new Baking for Gaps class, baking with nut and seed flour. Again, it's a class that you can have lifetime access to. It explains basic baking in gaps, and then, yes, we have a fermented cacao cake. We have a fermented carrot cake. And we have all sorts of other good things, cupcakes, etc. All right. So that's the story, Morning Glory. Once all your digestive issues have cleared, you can move on to full gaps. That means no diarrhea, no constipation, no swinging from diarrhea to constipation, no bloating, no smelly gas, all sorts of other things like that. All right, we have covered it. Questions about stage 5 and stage 6 or any other stage, please go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay. So, meanwhile, let's talk to Anna Clara and Dawn about cultured cream. So, the benefits of eating. Could you please tell us more about the benefits of 8 ounces of cultured cream before bedtime? Sure. How about yum? I know. Funny, right? So, to get the answer to that, we would have to dissect 8 ounces of cultured cream. So number one, we know that cultured cream is very high in enzymes, cultured cream, very high in probiotics, very high in calcium, very high in fat, all those good things. Mostly, my understanding from Dr. Natasha about why 8 ounces of cultured cream before bedtime is the fat piece, which I'm going to go back. I know Dawn is saying, how can I eat this much cultured cream because I would get fat, or I do get fat. And I would say to you one more time with feeling, everyone, that Dr. Natasha talks about people putting, well, first of all, most people lose weight when they first get on GAPS. They lose weight, they lose water weight. Usually that's in the body because of inflammation and because of grains. So we lose weight. Sometimes you lose weight for 6, 8, 12 months, maybe longer. And then once you get up to speed in GAPS, you're getting your 3 or 4 cups of meat stock a day. You're getting 6 to 8 tablespoons of fat, additional fat a day. You're getting a cup and a half of fermented vegetables every day. You're getting a cup to a cup and a half of cultured dairy every day. Then you start coming to your real weight, your true weight, right? So, Dawn, I know a little bit about what's going on with you. I'm going to bet that you don't have your meat stock up to 3 to 4 cups a day for 6, 8, 12 months yet. So there are a lot, or the fermented foods, up to half a cup at every meal, at every meal, right? So there may be some imbalances that have not been addressed yet for everyone, right? So I want to go back to the fact that what Dr. Natasha is talking about, Anna Clara, is fat, 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 fat. Did I say fat? I'm talking about fat. We're talking about fat. We're not talking about an avocado here. In fact, she was so funny because she's like, I'm not talking about avocados here. In her Russian accent, of course. She's not even talking about all those other oils. She's talking about fat, tallow, ghee, butter, duck fat, lard, goose fat, fats, cultured cream. Lots of it. You have an issue, you need more fat. Clean fat, right? Because we know that fat is where animals store toxins. We know, right? I hope we know that. So it needs to be clean. It needs to be sustainably raised, organic, clean, biodynamic, something, right? But that's what I'm saying. So Anna Clara, what would you get from that fabulous cultured cream? Calcium, enzymes, fat, right? Good bugs, probiotics, blah, blah, blah. I really encourage all of you to go back to the Blue Book or go to it for the first time and read the following. And I know, Dawn, you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell you this again. And that is, I really encourage all of you, Here's the blue book. Here's how I read the blue book, right? Yeah. I would really encourage all of you to go to page 386 in the blue book. And if you have the yellow book, go buy the blue book. No joke. It's totally worth it. You can get them used at this point for a lot less money. They're totally, totally, totally worth it. And you go to page 386 and you read the chapter on healing, right? Here we go. Healing goes through stages. This is I'm reading directly from here. It is like peeling an onion. The body peels off the outer layer of disease and you start feeling better than before. Then the body accumulates enough resources to start peeling the next layer of the disease and you start feeling ill again. What? Isn't it a setback? No, it's not a setback. Right? Once that layer of the disease is removed, you feel better again until the body decides to peel the next layer off. Please understand that it is your own body that heals itself, not the doctor, not the diet. Yeah. Not the medicine or the supplements. So I would, paragraph 3. She talks a lot about weight in paragraph 3 under healing, page 386 in the blue book. So we have to understand that the body is very, very wise, and the body knows what to do with the nutrients that you give it. It may not look like what you think should be healing first. The body will take the resources that you give it in these beautiful foods, and it will use it in the place that is most efficient and most necessary for continued health. And that may not be what you think, right? Someone who comes to GAPS and they say, oh my God, I'm putting on weight, but the body is dealing with something else. We just have to trust the process. We have to trust the process. All right, what do we got? So, let's see. Hello, Elin. Good to have you. Hello, hello. Dill, how are you doing, Dill? Hello, Laura. So good to see everyone. So great. Let me see. We had one more question. Following up on this, tying it up with a bow, thank you so much for that explanation. Would it be as beneficial having that cultured cream anytime during the day, or why in the evening? Yes, you could have it anytime during the day. Why in the evening? This is a stretch for me, Anna Clara, but it may be number one, the soporific. Do you like that word? The calming that dairy does for us, right? Like you're going to bed, maybe that. But the stretch part was it may also be that you're going to support the liver because we're going into detox time at bedtime. Remember, folks? God, I should write that article at some point. Detox time begins really at at 11 o'clock at night and goes until 7 in the morning. The liver is one of the places that we have hormone issues happening. It may be that too, but I mean, do what works for you. See how it feels. That's all I've got. I hope that's helpful. All right, let's see. I have more questions coming in. All right. So Kathleen says, I know heating honey kills it, but is it harmful to ingest like that? Just such as in baked goods? Dr. Natasha is going to say yes. She is going to say that heating honey is a bad idea and it's toxic to the body. So what we're looking at really is working with date paste or date syrup that you can make yourself at home from good organic dates that you can use in place of honey. Yeah, hope that's helpful. Hello, what do we got? We've got Okay, I did that. Okay. Dawn says, yep, no meat stock. It makes me too sick, but 2 tablespoons of kefir. Rock and roll, 2 tablespoons of kefir. That's excellent. I'm so proud, Dawn. Rock and roll. Congratulations. A few ounces of yogurt, 6 to 8 tablespoons of fat, a quarter cup of ferment most days. Dawn, I am giving you the thumbs up, and we're having a party. Sounds like you're doing great. Good job. Happy to hear that. Let us see. Thank you. Love it at all times during the day. Just curious. You can have as much as you want anytime you want it there. Anna Clara, I'm going to do the same thing. One of my I have to tell you, folks, that's my favorite food. Cultured dairy, cultured cream. Are you kidding me? I just eat it by the spoonful. Who needs anything else? Best dessert ever. Okay, moving on. What have we got for questions? Elin asks, can flu-like symptoms that are a die-off symptom be fever? Yes. What counts as flu-like symptoms? So, flu-like symptoms would be things like fever, headache, aching joints, exhaustion. Yeah, right? Like, what do we think of when we think of the flu? We think of like, oh, I have aches and pains and I don't feel good and I'm really tired and I've got a headache and you know, I'm just exhausted and I have a fever. Yeah. So yes, we remember that fevers are one of the ways the body burns off toxins, right? We like fevers. We don't like 107 degree Fahrenheit fevers, but we do like fevers, right? Fevers burn off toxins. Really good. So, Elin, you may want to look again, and everyone else, I invite you to look at all of the YouTubes I've done, all of the Facebook Lives that I've put on my YouTube channel. Ask the Gap Chef. I have one called Managing Die-Off. If you haven't seen it, I really, really just suggest that you take a listen because, again, it's just my talking head. You don't have to look at me unless you want to. Or you could just, you know, put it on and listen to it while you're cooking, cleaning, doing whatever you're doing. You can hear the piece on managing die-off. If you saw that, Elin. If you haven't watched it yet, you may want to check it out. You're welcome, Dill. You're welcome. Okay. Laura says, very underweight. My son just started gaining weight now after 1 year on GAP. So yes, it takes time. Yes, it does. It takes time. We have to trust the body. You know, folks, sometimes I think that one of the biggest gifts that Dr. Natasha has given from this diet, from this nutritional protocol, there are so many of them, but one of them is this invitation to listen to the body, this invitation to connect with our food, find clean food, learn how to cook, and then, or cook it so in this way so it's actually good for you, and then to trust that when we give the body what it needs, it will heal. It's a big deal, folks. It is so revolutionary. It is so opposite to what most of Western medicine says, right? That's all about identifying a symptom and either just getting rid of the symptom, but not getting rid of the cause, right? It has nothing to do with what you eat. Oh, it doesn't matter what you eat. It really matters what you eat. Okay. So I invite you to really trust the body. Trust the wisdom of the body. It knows what it's doing. It knows what it's doing. It's very wise. Do the best you can to offer it the best quality food that you can find. Bless it. Get yourself into autonomic nervous system balance. Do your I do this because you're bringing the system into balance. This is the balance point, right? You're not going too fast. You're not going too slow. You're not in fight or flight. You're not in freeze. You're in balance. Autonomic nervous system balance. That's why we do the mealtime ritual. If you're not doing the mealtime ritual, please find it. It's in both books, yellow and blue. Let's see if I can find it for you. The point of the mealtime ritual, the point of waiting, breathing 3 times, right? Slow in breath, slower, longer out breath before eating. The point of being mindful when we eat is that, or before we eat, is to bring ourselves into autonomic nervous system balance, where your body can actually digest the food. If you are bolting that food, you're just eating and running, there's no way your body can use it. Sorry, right? Mindfulness. I'm going to find it for you in just one moment. Let's see if we can find it. Mealtime. Mealtime, Emmy. Of course, it's not right here. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's in the beginning. Food. No. It's in the table of contents. GAP's Mealtime Ritual, page 212, Blue Book. Check it out. All right. Let's see what's happening here. La 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 la. Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen. All right. We're going to go to Dill. Do you know if it is safe to give a teaspoon of castor oil to a 1-year-old once a week to relieve constipation? She won't let me do enemas, so I have to use laxatives until the gut flora is rebuilt. So the first thing I say is go back and watch my Ask the Gap Chef constipation. Also the one on liver health. We remember there's 3 reasons, usually, for constipation. 1, not enough water intake. Going to get to that water question in a minute. Number 2, liver congestion. What helps with liver congestion? Beets, beet kvass, beet juice, beetroot, B-E-E-T, root, do it. Other things for liver congestion. Castor oil pack on the liver. Really good for liver congestion. And then 3, third reason, is your gut flora is not balanced. So, no laxatives, please. No laxatives. No commercial laxatives. Anyway, I would jump right in here and look at the chapter, Blue Book. It seems to be the book of the day. Blue Book on bowel management, folks. Bowel management. Read it, page 372. Why do I suggest that? Maybe you've already done that, Dill, which is cool and great and wonderful, and congratulations. But Dr. Natasha gives like 10 or 12 different things you can do for constipation in that chapter. Okay, so is it safe to give a teaspoon of castor oil to a 1-year-old once a week to relieve constipation? I don't personally know that answer. I would say that less is better. I would start with half a teaspoon to a 1-year-old or a quarter of a teaspoon for a 1-year-old. I would not start that high. That's just my humble opinion, right? Let me go back here. Bowel management. Where are we? I just told you 372. Let's see what Dr. Natasha says about castor oil. Right? 372. We're gonna go there. All right. I would start with things like bitters. Dill. Everyone, start giving your children bitters prior to a meal. Make sure they don't have alcohol in them or glycerin in them. Make sure they say they're safe for children, but bitters, Swedish bitters. Give a little bit of bitters. It might be all they need to get that digestion going, right? So constipation starts on page 374. She goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still counting. Let's look over there. 6, 7, 8. Up, castor oil. Application. Are you applying castor oil to her abdomen every night? Good idea. Right? Massage up, over, down. Up, over, down before bedtime. Yeah. Let's see, what else does she say? An occasional remedy, castor oil can be taken internally. So I don't know if I would be giving a 1-year-old a teaspoon of castor oil once a week. That doesn't sound like occasionally to me. That sounds like regularly, and if you need to do it once every 3 or 4 or 5 months, that's something else. So try these other things, Dill. Try doing a massage, abdominal massage, with the castor oil on the abdomen. You can also rub it into the liver. Good idea. All right. Kathleen. Yes, Dawn says use homeopathics for this as well as the foods. Monica says yes, homeopathics for constipation can help for sure. All right, let's see. Kathleen says water question. With distilled water, is it the important thing to add extra minerals in your diet in general or directly in the water? Directly in the water, Kathleen. Yes. So, or is it more important just to restructure it? One more time with feeling. Filter the water or use distilled. 2, that's number 1. Number 2, add minerals. Blip, zip. Okay, 1, filter the water or use distilled or use spring if you've got it. Right, filter the water. Wand the water to restructure it. Add the minerals. You need both. Structured water is not enough. Remineralized water is not enough. You need structured and minerals. I hope that's helpful. And you need to have the minerals in the water or your body can't use the water. Right? So, must you have minerals in the water when you drink it. All right. Roseanne, yes, how fabuloso. Thank you. Try to increase cultured cream for constipation. Yes, yes, yes. Skip the yogurt, skip the whey, jump on the cultured cream for the baby who has constipation. Excellent. The water does not have to be salty, Kathleen. Doesn't have to be salty. I would either make a Soleil. I would grab a Soleil from Baja Gold. It just needs a little bit. Or I would do a pinch, little tiny pinch of water. You can also get concentrates minerals. Really good. All right. Thank you for that, Roseanne. Good reminder that cultured cream for constipation. All right. Back to, let's see where we are. Boom. Anna Claire. I've always interpreted not getting sick often as a sign of a well-functioning immune system. Nope. Could be an immune system that's not allowing, right? You're so toxic, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Then reading in the blue book that it could be a sign that the body is not even well enough for the symptoms to show. That's right. How does one know if it's the case of effective working immune system or not? Here's what I would suggest. I would suggest if you're having flu-like symptoms, what do? You always, all right, always is too strong. Most of the time, very, 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 very often, you increase your detoxification, right? So what do if you have a flu and a fever and all those things? You support the organs of detoxification. That's what you do. How do you do that? You do Epsom salt baths or one of the other 4 baths, right? There's 5 total baths. What else could you do? You could do a castor oil pack on your liver. Please go look at castor oil packs. Everyone in my fabulous GAPS chat group, which we do Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. together every morning. We've been together for 5 years now. GAPS chat. You can check that on my website if you want to find out more. Most of us are going to start doing daily castor oil packs just to see what happens. Anyway, so that's a great thing. So what do? Epsom salt baths. You can do 3 Epsom salt baths a day. Coffee enemas, fabulous for detoxification. Castor oil packs on the liver, fabulous for detoxification support. Trying to think of what else. You could also sit in the sun for a while. You can go grounding barefoot. That's going to be detoxifying. You can brush your teeth with zeolite. You can do all sorts of things. So if, in fact, you have flu-like symptoms, what does that call for? It calls for supporting detoxification in the body any way that you can at that time. Even regular enemas can help, not even coffee enemas. So I hope that's helpful. All right. Good, 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 good. Let's see who's here. Hey, Farhia, how are you? Good to have you. What can you recommend for a child who suffers with anxiety and OCD? Okay, the GAPS diet. That's the beginning, right? We all know. I know you know that, but I had to say it. The first thing we do is we look at the diet. The second thing we do is we make sure that child is getting tons of fat and good salt. Tons of fat and good salt. Thank you, Dawn. Fabuloso. Tons of fat and good salt. Tons meaning 6 to 8 tablespoons a day, and lots of very good salt. The next thing we do is for a child who suffers from anxiety and OCD is we take them off all screens. No computers, no video games, none of that. The next thing we do is we make sure there's no 5G tower around us. 5G, 4G. The next thing we do is we look at my video on YouTube on flower essences. Flower essences. The one for anxiety is Bach, B-A-C-H, Flower Remedy, Aspen, A-S-P-E-N. But I would check that out. I think that'll be helpful for anyone who wants to learn more about flower remedies. Certainly you could try Rescue Remedy, but I really have had much more success with my clients when we work with a specific remedy for a specific thing. Rescue Remedy is great to have around when you just don't know what's going on, right? Okay, I hope that's helpful. All righty, what else? Good, 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 good. Also, if you'd like to learn about water, I would also suggest Dr. Tom Cowan's book called Cancer and the New Biology of Water. Ashwagandha is good for anxiety. Yeah, but yes, Yasmin, hello, absolutely. But ashwagandha is a long-term tonic that would need to be used for several months to have any effect for this child. Yeah, you're welcome. Ashwagandha is great, but it's an herb, and herbs take a while, usually. Yes. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Anna Clara, I thought you would stay off the detoxing while sick. Thank you. I'll up the detox. Up the detox. Ta-da! All right. Natasha. Hello, Natasha. Hello. Okay, my toddler who's on stage 6 has a cold. He has very bad under eye redness. Could that be from his sickness or die off maybe from introducing beef sticks? Why does this child have beef sticks on stage 6? Beef sticks, full gaps, and increasing sauerkraut. So your toddler who has a cold on stage 6, what would I do? I would do enemas. I would do detox baths. I would do garlic. Lots of garlic is very helpful, specifically to head colds and anything that's upper respiratory. Garlic. I would be doing garlic lemonade, where you have warm water, lemon juice, press some garlic in there, a little bit of raw honey. That's a wonderful thing to do. Yeah, very bad under eye redness. Yeah, it could be either. Whatever you do, support the organs of detoxification when your child is has a bad cold. I would also look, Dr. Natasha talks a lot about how to work with children in the Blue Book when they aren't feeling well. I would check it out. I'm not sure about these beef sticks, though. They should be on full gaps. Die off from it. You probably wouldn't have die off from beef sticks. Depends on how much. I don't know the child and I don't know the symptoms. I don't know the background, but I haven't seen really red eyes underneath the eyes from sauerkraut die off. I don't know. You're welcome. Yep. Just take, and there are homeopathics that can help, absolutely, for children with colds. Um, yeah, garlic is really good for anyone with upper respiratory. Adding more garlic juice, more garlic into, I would ferment some garlic, but you can't use that right away. It's August, so we should all be putting on our, what's it called? Oh, fire cider. We need to start making fire cider. That's another story for another time. All right, what else have we got here? What have we got? La 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 la. I wonder, Dawn, that podcast, was it done with whom? Who did that podcast? I know it's a Wise Traditions podcast, but who was interviewed? That'd be helpful to know. All right, any more questions? We're almost at time, folks. What do we got? Anything? Anything? Any question about anything? About all these good things? We talked about a lot of things today. Kind of fun. Yeah. Oh, here's Dill. If one can't afford organic animal fats, are non-organic animal fats still better than seed oils? Yes. Yes. Here's the thing, folks. The best thing to do about animal fats is to make your own. What does that mean? The best thing to do is to find a farmer that raises their beef, their pork, their lamb, their chickens, their ducks, their geese cleanly. And in terms of the mammals, to get fat from them and to render it yourself. You can find that article on my website, simplybeingwell.com. I talk about let's make lard. You can use the same information for making tallow. The other thing Dr. Natasha really suggests is purchase a goose or a duck, roast it for the family, and then pour off the fat. And you'll get jars and jars of fat. So in terms of not being able to afford organic animal fats that are already rendered for you, drop back and go and make your own. That's going to be the cheapest way to do it, and then you won't have to worry about whether it's labeled organic because you've done the work to find out whether your farmer or the farmer has raised clean animals. If that makes sense. All right, let's see where we are. Oh my God, it's an interview with Gerald Pollack. Yeah, thanks, Dawn. Yes, definitely go watch that. It's fantastic. Abita says, oh my God, look at this. Yay! Your meat stock class is so amazing. Thank you. I thought I knew how to make meat stock, but I didn't. It is so helpful. Thank you for that. All right, folks, that is the meat stock masterclass. Abita, I got your message. I will look into that later today because I need to get you that $75 back. It's a coupon, everyone, for you on this group to take $75 off the masterclass. I'm so glad that it is working for you and that it's helpful. Yes. Very, very glad. Okay. Very glad, and I will look at it. Thank you for that. Your meat stock class is so amazing. Oh, I hope so. So a long time ago, 2015, that's 8 years ago now, folks. Is that true? Yes. A long time ago, I wrote my first book, which was called Meat Stock and versus Bone Broth, or Meat Stock and Bone Broth. It was this book. It was one book, a single book on wrong way. A single book on meat stock. I wrote it because not everyone, the vast majority of people on GAPS were making bone broth, which was wrong, and was causing problems. I don't care about right or wrong. What we're concerned about is that bone broth can be a nervous system dysregulator. It can work as an excitotoxin, and that's not what we want for people with leaky gut. So I wrote that book. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I wrote it. And now I did this meat stock masterclass. It is a masterclass. It's over 9 hours of video. It's all lots and lots of lessons and recipes and this and how and what and why and all this stuff. It's lifetime. You can watch it from now until the end of time, as far as I know. So I did the meat stock masterclass because so many people think that GAPS is just about chicken broth, and it's not. It's about stews. It's about casseroles. It's about one-pot meals. It's about so many things. This is such a versatile food. Nobody knows how to do it, or the vast majority of people don't. That's why I did the masterclass. So I hope it's helpful to all of you. The meat stock class is $349 US. There's a $75 coupon that I have put on this page for all of you, and you will have it forever. It should have been priced around $600 or more because it's so much material, but I said we have to keep the price down. All right. There we go. Hi, from which stage can we drink nettle tea with different herbs? You can have any kind of herbal tea starting in stage 1. That's fine. As long as the herbs are clean and the herbs are organic, not irradiated. Yes, that's fine for you to start with them, and they're strained out. Very, very good. You're welcome, Yasmin. Okay. All right, everyone. We are DONE. It is 12:34. We've gone over an hour. I have really enjoyed being with you today, as I do every week. I believe I'm going to have to reschedule next week's. Let's see. Am I right? Next week, am I on a plane? Next week, I'll be on a plane. I need to fly back to Florida. Those of you that have been with me for a while know about this whole saga. And I will need to reschedule. I will put that up as soon as I know when I can do this class. I may have to do it on Wednesday the 30th. But I will send you the information. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me today. Hold on. Wait a second. Okay. Oh, this is a quick one. Selena. Hello, Selena. If the food intolerance test shows sensitivity to casein and the wrist test, you're welcome, Roseanne. The wrist testing with milk overnight shows no rashes. Can I continue in the diet using the dairy introduction protocol? Yes. But remember that milk on the wrist is not the same as yogurt on the wrist, cultured cream on the wrist, whey on the wrist. These are all different, right? We don't use milk by itself in GAPS. We always culture it, and we culture it long so there's no lactose. I hope that's helpful, Selena. All righty. All right, everyone, take good care, and we will see you next week, right? Different GAPS time, same GAPS channel. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And remember, the body is incredibly resilient. Trust her. She knows what she's doing. Hi, Tina. You're welcome. Okay. Bye now. Be well, everyone.